Shalom. Let's start out by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Citations to the Ophelet, just pushing his truth across four corners of the earth, out for truth and sincerity. I'm gonna want to back again us sitting. Not gonna make this too long. Just want to go into about the times that we in. Knowing the times that we're in, that this place America, Babylon the Great is at an end. It is at its end. Going forward, a lot of things could drastically, major things could happen to where a lot more things is gonna happen to where a lot of people out here just gonna be feeling the plagues that Lord Yahweh Shah gonna bring upon this place, America, Babylon the Great, the economic downturn, this place, America, Babylon the Great, something can happen where power gets shut down, the grid can get shut down, or so forth. Something major event can happen to where something major in the cities. The major cities in America, Babylon the Great. Something can happen to where things can get chaotic. Eventually, like I say, people gonna start losing it. All our anarchy in the streets, and eventually, like I said, the martial law troops gonna come in, and shut, parts of the cities down, because, eventually it's gonna get real crazy out here, in these cities in America, Babylon the Great, in each state, so. I'm gonna start off with, let's see, Second Esdras. Let me see. I'll just start off with Second Esdras 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I had told thee before. So the apostles and the elders men Lord Great Millstone, men Lord had this truth, they measure the time diligently, and according to prophecy of, according to the words of the Lord of the Bible, understand this, being spiritually, understanding this truth, knowing the times that we're in, and going forward, this place America, Babylon the Great is going down according to the prophecies, situations going on with Iran, the beginning of a World War III, it's going to escalate, more, as we go forward. Things just going to get worse here in America, Babylon the Great, the love of meaning waxing cold, people, not, really caring for, one another, not having no love or no type of affection for one another. It's a lot of, it's more hate than love out here. It's a lot of selfish envy and jealousy out here more than it is love and being having a understanding of people's lack of a lack of not having no help, or not helping one another, basically. There's a lot of do you gotta do me, or I don't care what you're going through. It's a lot of F you type situation, right now going forward. So it's gonna get worse, it's gonna be every man for themselves, as we go forward, you know, either you got yourself together, you gotta, you know, you prepared to, deal with the, uh, how bad it's gonna get here in America, Babylon Great, we have these preppers out here, you know, they ready for, when this place goes, go straight to hell, out here, this place, America, Babylon Great, and the cities go straight downhill, which is it's coming, so that's the times that we in, man. But next verse. 2nd Ezra 9:12. Then shall they understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So the Most High Yahweh Shai, he's finna visit this, place with, like I say, plagues. His wrath and destruction is gonna come down in this place, America, Babylon the Great, man, in this world, man. And these people gonna know that there's a higher power at work. It ain't all Satan, It's not all, everything is not all man-made. Well, Most High Yahweh Shai, that there's a higher power when things start to happen that you couldn't fathom to see. You couldn't fathom to see in your time of being alive. You're like, man, this is from a higher power at work here. When things start to happen more and more, in the world, in America, Babylon the Great, a lot of people out here gonna be getting put to death. The judgments by the judgment, Lord Yahweh Shai. Your closest friends, the loved ones that you might know, dying of horrific deaths, either by some type of disease or, some horrific accidents, something, something more, that's, come about, that the Most High Yahweh Shai gonna bring upon this place, America, Babylon Great in the world, But, next verse. 2nd Ezra 9:3. Therefore, when there shall be seen, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and upwells of the people in the world. So, we had an earthquake in Louisiana, 4.9, that happened. I think that was today or yesterday, something like that, but it happened. So that's a 4.9. So earthquakes are happening, and then you got the upwells of the people, the situation. You had the situation with ice in Minnesota and so forth in different cities. But it's calmed down. But that don't mean, it's not going to stop and slow down. I mean, it's not going to stop. The upwells of people are going to happen more and more, especially, the prices of food, gas, and so forth start skyrocketing. And, and people out here, can't get no work or jobs because the job market suck. I don't think these jobs really hiring like they say they say they hiring, but then they not really hiring. It's like a lot of people out here really ain't got work like that out here. Not saying not people don't got no work, but most people out here ain't working or got no money like that, or working a part-time job. Just trying to survive. But it's gonna get worse, man. And like I say, there's gonna be more layoffs happening. Especially in retail. That's gonna happen more. Because people not gonna be buying things like that because of high prices. The prices of things are going up, and people can't afford it. So eventually, what you gonna have? All out people are gonna be just uproars of the people of. The lack of funds, they can't buy things or whatever. Maybe they're just gonna be going to these stores and taking what they want. Run out of stores, whatever they want, man. Just start taking stuff. And Walmart now, most of their stuff is, they got little locks on it, where you can't really, just take what you want. But it's gonna get to a point people not gonna care about that, they're gonna probably start taking the keys from the people that got the locks to just opening it, and take whatever they want, man. It gonna get crazy out here, man. Or they just gonna bust it down with something, the glass or whatever, whatever they gotta do to try to get whatever they need, because it's gonna get that chaotic out here, man. Like I said, things here in America about Babylon, it's not finna get pretty. It's not finna get better. It's only gonna get worse. Because the so-called white man, Esau, the white world is is at his end, man. So go from there. 2 Ezra 9:4. Then shalt thou well understand the Most High spake, spake or spoke. You say spoke right there of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So the Most High Yahweh, he spoke of these things. For the days before thee, so the understanding of the word, these prophecies, that was told, that was told, to the disciples, Yahweh when he was here on earth, and I say the prophecies that was being shown to the disciples, the men of the Lord, the prophets back then, when they wrote it down, saw these things and in the future, which is now of being in America, Bible great, in the ancient time they're seeing the prophecies happen. What's going on now was how worse is going, how bad it really gonna get here in America, Bible great, and it's going to get really, really bad, right? Because right now you can still move around and drive, but it's gonna get to a point where it's gonna get so bad out here, like you can't fully, put it into words, but it's gonna be like like movies like The Purge, or movies like that, right? That all our anarchy in the streets, and people just do what you gotta do to survive. Rape, robbing, gonna be a lot of rape, robbing, and murdering. People losing their minds, killing themselves, or people robbing. A lot of women out here, especially like these proudful women out here, say they don't need no man, this and that. They gonna get raped, robbed, murdered, and killed out here, and some of that going on now, but it's gonna get way worse, that's the times that we're in, and a lot of people are finna face a lot of horrific judgments by the Lord Yahweh outside. But go from there. And like I said, me myself, first and foremost, hopefully I'm probably rushing up to escape the wrath and judgments of the Lord Yahweh outside in these times. But 2 Ezra 9:5, for like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and the end, and the end is manifest. Excuse me, and the end is manifest. So hey, this place America, Babylon Great, it had its time, it had its beginning, It had its start. Esau called white people, Esau Edomites. It had their time of rulership, but it's at the end. We at the end of this age. It's eon. We at the end of this so-called white man, Esau Edomites rulership. They wicked rulership, which you really know what I'm saying is wicked. It's at the end. And go to the word manifest. You can go to the word manifest is to be made clear, obvious. That hey, we at the end. If you're not paying attention, those that's in the spirit of Lord Yahweh Shai, understand the prophecies. We right. We at this. We right at this. This is at the end. We right. This place ain't got too much longer, man. It really don't. The days are speeding up, for the elect's sake. Because, no flesh would be saved, if, the time, the time is speeding up because of that, Because, like I said, the Most High Yahweh Shai is going to make his return. He's going to make his return. He's going to bring his rapid judgment down on, those that are not, and those that are not a part of that righteous number, and those that are a part of the righteous number of the so-called Negro, Latinos, which are Israelites, the 144,000, 1/3 is gonna be delivered and have mercy by Lord Yahweh Yahushua. When he returns, even the times right now, and then up to his return, be delivered and escape the second death. Which is by way of the second death is the fire It's going to be by way of the thermonuclear missiles. They're going to come raining down on America, Babylon the Great. So with that, I didn't want to make this too long. So again, I hope this was edifying. So again, like about praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakadash, to the apostle elders, to the Sisakin brothers, to the few Aqua officers that do listen, keep the faith, and Yahushua, keep fighting with that, say shalom.